Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to thank all of you guys across social media here on YouTube and on New Tech for your guys' continued support as the channel is now re-monetized here on YouTube. So thank you to all of you for your continued support.
We start things off from the Daily Mail. Anheuser Busch CEO finally disavows Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light partnership and says it was not a campaign after firm sent letter to retailers blaming an outside ad agency for approving it without management awareness as sales crash 26%. Ladies and gentlemen, as we say here on the BuzWeaver channel, get woke, go broke. Who knew that it would take beer to get the world's attention on wokeness and the idea, the philosophy, the ideology of the left who tries to push their way around the bulls in the China cabinet with their cancel culture, with their progressivism, with their outrage mobs willing to go out there in the streets and march. And of course, you know, we call those riots. And now we have them trying to appeal to the woke, but never an apology. Never an apology. Although the woke and the cancel culture and outrage mob demand apologies or they will destroy people. And here we have Anheuser-Busch making a plethora of excuses. The CEO of Anheuser-Busch has unceremoniously disavowed the disastrous Dylan Mulvaney stunt. And it was exactly that. It was a stunt. They sent out these kits out to influencers in the hopes that they would be able to get that vibe, that trending feeling going on within the woke ideology, philosophy, and worldview of this progressive nonsense, insisting it was not a campaign, as a letter to retailers says it was just one can. Oh, it was just one can, ladies and gentlemen. Let's count. Should we count all the excuses they make here? Global boss Michel Ducares addressed the mass backlash over working with trans influencer Mulvaney. Now, ladies and gentlemen here, now, I have no issues with grown human beings making choices about their life and their particular orientation, but Dylan Mulvaney isn't necessarily a trans individual. He is what we call back in the day a poser. He is pretending to be a trans person for the purposes of influence and just the whole essence of what this wokeness, cancel culture, outrage mob society mindset is, and that is narcissism, attention of oneself, and getting what one wants by virtue of clicks and views. For the first time in an earnings call with investors on Thursday. So it's just been a massive disaster for Anheuser-Busch. Ducares told investors there is misinformation spreading on social media about the company's team-up with Mulvaney, according to Fox. No, there's no misinformation. It's quite clear. Individuals who know Dylan Mulvaney, who follow him on his social media, could see that he was out there poking at different trends, poking at different ideologies of philosophy, prospecting, as it were. When you go to his, you see that he tried to do different types of trending analysis and litmus test out there to see what would work. And apparently him going trans and having, how many days per day as being a woman, clicked, it worked, and that's what he pursued. And this isn't necessarily just coming from my biased opinion. This is what individuals in the LGBTQ and trans community are saying, that Mulvaney has made little to no effort outside of maybe some corrective surgery to become more feminine, but he's not doing the things that a typical trans person would do. And we've already seen a lot of his behavior and just kind of a mocking of not only trans, but mocking of women. And so he added the company is providing direct financial support to the frontline workers impacted by the boycott. You know, the people out there hustling, getting the beer on the shelves, making sure everything's going for Anheuser-Busch. And they just made a disastrous and terrible mistake. Ducares said, we need to clarify the facts that this was one camp, one influencer, one post, and not a campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, this was everywhere. They put these ads everywhere. They had to have been aware of what was going on. And it was just kind of it reminds me of the Bill Clinton moments back in the 90s where the expression here, lick your finger and see which direction the wind was blowing. And now they've taken it to a whole new level. We will continue to learn, meet the moment in time, and be stronger, and we work tirelessly to do what we do best. Bring people together over beer and creating a future of more cheers. Now, if they wanted to be stronger, they would apologize to everyone. They would apologize. They're not going to do it. And yet the outrage mob, cancel culture, wokeness, all these people demand people succumb to their will. Demand that people do what they say, or they will destroy you as they go after President Trump. And there's Dylan Mulvaney on the Bud Light can. And then, of course, here we have Anheuser Busch put 2 of their most senior members of the marketing team behind the campaign on leave. Pictured here is Alyssa Heisenschein. And here she is. Of course, she's on leave right now. There's Dylan Mulvaney. Of course, he had the surgery to look more feminine. But as I understand it from the trans community and the LGBTQ community, he isn't really making a more of an effort to be, I guess, trans, as it were, whatever the particular characteristics and criteria are for that. But like I said, what grown human beings do is totally fine. So when it now, so kind of a little off topic, what these grown human beings do is fine. What I have a problem with is when they target children. Why do they need to include children? Why do they need to target children in some of their activities? That's my only thing that I have for these individuals. Now, there's Dylan Mulvaney was sent the kit, and he put this little skit together during the NCAA tournament, March Madness, where he pretended to not really know what March Madness really was, of course, which is kind of an insult to all of us who love March Madness. March Madness is the best basketball around, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever ask me, it's the best basketball you'll ever see. And you can see here, Bud Light just completely tanking. 26%, while Coors Light and Miller Lite have gone up. Well, they're at least going up. But, man, this was a story that was going around the internet everywhere. And, of course, now I want to thank everyone for your guys' continued support because the channel is now monetized. This video may not be, but that's quite all right. We were able to sort all that out. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, Anheuser Busch, who knew that it would be beer that would bring the attention of wokeness to the community, to the world? And as I've always said, as we have always said here on the BuzWeaver channel, that unless it shows up at someone's front door, they'll never understand the absurdity of wokeness, the absurdity of cancel culture, outrage mob, and the ridiculous narratives and framing that the media use every day to promote this ideology, wokeness, culture mindset. It's absolutely absurd. And that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to be it for the Friday vlog this week. I want to thank you guys for your continued support. And of course, below this video, you can see the various links to Amazon, where I have an influencer page. So if you guys are a Prime member or frequently order on Amazon, be sure just simply to use one of those links as your landing page to simply place the order. Your privacy and information is never revealed to me, and your support is always greatly appreciated. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on YouTube watching this, you will see the YouTube channel icon appearing right there on the screen for you guys to click on to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. And I'll see all you guys right there behind the lovely new Galaxy phone with new mount that I'm using now next week.